Good morning, children. Today we'll be learning the tools of GIMP. Let me share the screen with you. Okay, let me open GIMP before I start also teaching you. So, uh, you have some tools. You have learned how to save and open the files, right? And first tool what we are going to learn is the bucket fill tool. The bucket fill tool, it allows you to fill an area with color. So if you want to fill only this part of the thing, you can just fill. So you fill color with the help of a bucket tool. A bucket fill tool helps you to fill the selected area of an image with the current foreground color. I already told you what is foreground. Right now in this image, the foreground is black and the background is white. So the bucket fill tool helps you, whatever color is being selected in the foreground, that color will be filled in the selected area. So it allows you to only fill a single color. Unlike the other tool called the gradient allows you to fill multiple colors, but bucket fill tool allows you to fill only one color into any area or any shape. To use the bucket fill tool, first, as usual, you need to create a file with the required width and height, which I already showed you on the image window, and click on the toolbar. From the drop-down list, select the paint tools, and from the paint tools, select the bucket fill tool. Then click on the canvas, and by default, the canvas is filled with black because of the foreground being black. So let's try to apply. As usual, he said open a new file, and then it asks you what width and size you want. I am selecting 800 by 700. The height will be 700, width is 800. And here opens my little screen. Now, according to the foreground, it's given as black. So he said, select the tools from the select paint tools. From the select paint tools, click on bucket fill tool. I think it's clear to you. The blue things are being highlighted. Click on the bucket fill tool. And then once you click on the bucket fill tool, you just press click on the canvas. When you click, the black color appears because the foreground is black. And suppose if I want to change the foreground, just click on the foreground. The foreground colors open. I want something like maroon, dark maroon, or maybe a little lighter red like this. So as you drag this thing, you can see what colors are there and say okay. And then your bucket is selected because you went to tools and selected. I'll once again show you how to select the bucket fill. Either you select it from the tool options that are given here, or click on the toolbar, click on paint, click on bucket fill, and the bucket fill will be selected. So because it's red, it's selecting red. Click on the foreground and select what color. I'm selecting the green color, and then what type of green you want, you select and click OK, and just click on the canvas. The green color appears. This is how you use the foreground color or the bucket fill color. So if I want to fill an area, this is the area that is filled. So suppose if I take another new, and then I'll say same canvas. So you can see here in your, I want to just, make a rectangle tool. See rectangle, I want to make a rectangle like this. And then I want to fill it with the color. See, only that color is being, colored. The area is being colored. Now going to the next tool is editing foreground and background. Now, how would you edit the foreground and background? I just now showed you how to edit the foreground. Background also is the same. Just click on the foreground and then the color palette opens, and from the color palette, you need to select what color you want, or you can just go on the tool. So in GIMP, the foreground and background palette displays the color of the toolbox. The toolbox opens with all the different colors in the open option window. The foreground and background color palette uh, to carry out multiple tasks such as painting, filling the selected region, etc. Now, if I want to edit the foreground, which I just showed you, or the background, first you create a new file with the height and width, then click on the foreground or the background, and then change the foreground and the background color in the color toolbox. From the color palette, click the required color and click OK. And to switch foreground and background color areas, click on the small curve. If you want to switch it, here there's a small curve. You can just click on the double-headed arrow and then it just resets or just exchange places. So then click on, to reset the foreground and background, just click on the default and then click on default color options. Let's try it out. So here there's a picture of what I've done. See how I've selected the foreground and then I've colored it as I showed you. And also the background, the same way you can do. Okay, so we can do that same thing. So I'll say background, I want background as red, like this. This is foreground. If I want to reverse it, just click on this, that becomes red and this becomes green, and click it. And if you want to use both the colors together, there's an option called blend tool. So when you blend, two colors will appear here. So you can just select and two colors come. Clear? But anyhow, I'll be teaching you that if it is only bucket fill tool, you get only one color to fill, whatever color you are selecting. Coming to the next option, as I was telling you, that's the foreground and background, how you change. Blend tool, I told you. Blend tool is a mixture of different colors. It works by filling the selection with the two colors or whatever you want. It fills a canvas. To use the gradient tool, just now I told you, just click on the image window, click on the tools menu, then from the drop down list, select the paint and then select blend from it. Then you can change the foreground and the background and then set the following to the tool option window. Type of gradient and shape. There are two options in the gradient. One is the type of gradient, that is the different colors that you're using. Another one is you can even change the shape. Drag the canvas to apply the blending tool. Note the softness of the blend depends upon how long your dragging is. It from the first end of the corner to the next end, then it will little blur, it will come. If the distance is short, sharper is the area. Let's try it out. So as I told you, I will open a new, you can use the same thing if you want anyway, but I'm opening another new one. And then I want to use the blend tool. And what he said is click on tools, click on paint, and click on blend. The shortcut key for blend is L on the keyboard. So now right now this is green because I've selected the background as green. And because it's blend tool, I'll just make a small line. You see, it's created this way. If I make a bigger line, what will happen? It's increased, right? Now in this type of foreground and background, you have other colors too. You can just, this is flipped up, right? You can flip red this side, green that side. Now this is green, this side is red and this side is green. If I want it reverse way, I've just flipped it and it's become green that side, red this side. Here you have different shapes. As I told you, okay, you can select colors, you can select shapes. Click on this arrow, down arrow. Here, right now what we are using is called liner. We'll use byliner. What is byliner? See what happens in a byliner. See how it comes. Okay, byliner is this way. Then you have other shapes, radial shape. So if I just drag, just click and drag, see it's become a radial, right? Like one just glowing light. If it was yellow, it would have been even more beautiful. There is square. Let's see what is square showing. See, it's come like a square box. So you have many shapes. Try out all. This is a conical. What conical looks like. See, like a just conical chip, like a cone it's become. Then Angular shape is there, spiral. Let's see what the spiral does. Yeah, it's made the spiral. If I put a small, see, more bigger the spiral, more spirals come. Smaller, if I make it big, less spiral, right? Big the spirals are. If I make it small, you get more spiral. So as I told you, depends upon the distance how you are dragging, how clear you want it. I hope you understood about the blend tool. After the blend tool comes your text tool. Um, Here to apply text, you have to click this is the icon for text. Just create a new file, apply the required blending on the canvas and on the image window. Click on the tools. Then from the drop down, select the text tool, or shortcut key is T on your keyboard. Now try the text box wherever you want. Suppose I created a house and I want to name it, like I created the school and I wanted to name it BRJC. You can do that. Let's see how we do it. Now the tool option appears in the tool selection toolbox option window. In the font box, enter the required font name, the font size, whatever you want, the color, and then click on OK. Let's see how to do it. Again, I'll open a new canvas because you will get used to opening new canvas. It depends upon what, I don't want the background as green, I want it as white. So please select white. White should be a little down. So this is white. Okay. See, double colors. Okay. Because this is, when I want to use white, then I need to use a bucket fill tool and just pour. Sorry, I've used the circle. That's why it's giving me like that. I've got a blank image. So if I want white, I can just click on this. You can select what white color you want. More white, you can see here there are white options. You can go to more white color here. Okay, I've selected the cream or what, you can change it to white and fill it. If it's, oh, because I put red, it's coming red. Now, we want to use a text tool. So you go on tools menu, go to paint, and then where's the text tool? Tools menu, from the drop down list, select the text or press T. Okay, I'm selecting it from here, tools menu. Here's your A text tool, click on it, or from the toolbox you can click. So when you do this, you get a text box. You can create your text box. The text box size is 18. You can make it more. Say I want 22 and I don't want to write in red. I want to write in another color. Say I want it as blue. So I can write in blue and say okay. So it's changed to blue. You can say here you have bold. You can click on bold, so it comes as bold, and you have italics, and you have underlining if you want to do underlining. So we'll click on the other underline and then let's start writing. So I want to write B R J C R C I. This is how you write. You want to increase the size, just highlight it and you can increase it to what size you want. Can you see? You can even expand on this if you want the size bigger. So here's the size, which is quite big. Hope you understood how to do it. And then you want to drag it anywhere, you can just click on the move tool and drag it wherever you want. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's released already. So this is how you create your text tool. In the next class, I will take the remaining part of your lesson. Hope you understood about bucket fill, blend tool, and the text tool. Thank you for now. Have a nice day and do your homework.